Oh, God. It's another one of those pots.
Keep it back! What the hell are these things anyway?
Fast as shit, that's what! Got enough! More of them incoming! Left, left, left!
What is up everyone, Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys another Gears of War theories video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Swarm and what I believe they may evolve to, because the thing that's quite interesting about the Swarm is they suddenly just appeared out of nowhere. You know, it was 25 years after Gears of War 3, and just out of nowhere they just suddenly pop up, start infecting people, stealing people, but it all seemed to start up very quickly. Like, it was something that only probably started within a span of a few days, and then within 24 hours we saw how bad the infection was getting, where we got to see the huge hive, the giant carrier, and things like that. So Snatchers and everything are going to be a huge role in the Gears of War series going forward. Now, this is what I believe they can evolve to and what type of level of threat they can become. The thing is, when it comes to the Swarm, they almost seem like a perfect combination of Lambency and the Locust. Whereas instead of becoming like infected and glowy and exploding, they became more of a living organism to where they can infect things and turn enemies into more Swarm. And with Lambency, it was getting very bad to where the planet was dying, as Adam Phoenix stated. But the thing that makes it a little worse to me, in my opinion, with the Swarm is when it came to Lambency, they kind of died out after some time if there was nothing else to infect. Good examples of this was in the Gears of War novels, where they stated that there was multiple stocks in the middle of the ocean with nothing on them and they were just completely dead, and they will constantly find stocks or dead Lambent enemies because there was nothing else for them to infect. Whereas with the Swarm, they're flat out living organisms that can prosper by themselves and also by infecting other things. This right here would basically state that they are going to become a planetary level threat to an extent where the planet can not die, but in fact be changed into a planet of the Swarm. As you can see in Gears of War 4, it only took place within 24 hours, but we got to see how horribly bad they were enabled to infect people by kidnapping whole villages in a blink of an eye, and also just building a gigantic hive. The thing that's scary is the Swarm looks like a type of enemy that can just evolve, and turn into something worse and worse as time goes on. And I have a huge feeling that they're gonna evolve, and we're gonna see entirely different enemies by the time Gears of War 5 is around than the ones that we saw in Gears of War 4. If you notice in Gears of War 4, while the enemies were quite various in terms of types and how many different versions of them there was, the thing is, this is just barely the tip of the iceberg. Eventually we're going to see a lot of different things, a lot more enemies, and just a whole entirely different army than what we fought in Gears of War 4. If you notice, the enemies we fought in Gears of War 1 were very scarce as well. We only fought things like drones, Therons, boomers, and that's pretty much it, and wretches and a few other things like that in the Krill. But it was very scarce with the enemies in Gears of War 1. But by the time it was Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3, there was a lot of new enemies with things like Tickers, with Cantus, with the Leviathan, and in Gears of War 3 we had the whole slew of enemies with the Savage characters, Polyps and Lambent and things like that. And if you notice in Gears of War 1 through 3, the Locusts were constantly evolving, changing, and new enemies arose. And when it comes to the Swarm, I'm pretty sure this is exactly what's going to happen to them. Not to mention with enemies like the Pouncers and the Snatchers, they're probably going to change up very badly as well. In my video where I talked about how the Pouncers were infecting the DBs, a lot of people were a little skeptic on the comment section where they were talking about how that didn't make any sense. Go watch that scene again. If you notice, when he shoots the spike through the DB, you can see that for a brief instant you can see the spike sticking out of the DB's back as well, not only through the screen but the back as well. And you could see like this weird red fogginess around it. And then actually later on, Kate did state that the DB was being controlled by the Pouncer. And the reason why I went as far as to say that maybe they will evolve to a point where they can even control humans is because of the fact that they can send electric signals through their spikes. Imagine if that's how they were able to control people. If you really sit there and think about it, when it comes to a biological standpoint, our brains send electrical signals to our bodies, and that's how we move. What if the pouncers can actually intercept that signal, throw a spike into you, and cause you to betray your friends and family? That'd be just a ridiculous thing. And like I said before in the past, I have a feeling that the Swarm will become an enemy that will far surpass the Locust and possibly even the Lambent as well, because of the fact that they're the perfect combination of the two. They have the smarts to be able to use things like lancers and drop shots and weapons pretty much in general, but yet they have the ability to infect other living things. That's just ridiculous. They're going to go ahead and evolve into this point where by the time we get Gears of War 5 and Gears of War 6, we're going to be looking at an entirely different army than what we saw in Gears of War 4. A lot of people are hating on the Swarm, saying that they're simply just clones of the Locust, and well, in a sense, that is kind of true. They are the evolved form of the Locust after they died at the end of Gears of War 3. But does that make them less of an enemy? No way. This actually makes them pretty damn interesting. I actually like this, and it makes a lot more sense to me in my opinion, because of the fact that if we just killed off all the Locusts and out of nowhere there's just this whole other new enemy coming from like another planet or something weird like that, that would just feel kind of lame and redundant. Whereas the Swarm kind of bring more of a meaning to the Locusts, showing that they never die. They simply die and then evolve into something else. Kind of gives them a little bit more of a meaning in a sense. But overall, guys, if you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button and subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about this theory video. Do you believe that the Swarm will evolve into a new form completely different than what we'll see in Gears of War 4? Do you believe that they will become a planetary threat where the whole planet has a chance to become a fully infected planet, the planet of the Swarm? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching and take it easy. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.